What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today I want to talk to you about Lucid. I want to go over some of the data points, break it down, what's moving it, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So Lucid is up 2.4%, 252 the low, 259 the high. No news from Lucid, no SEC filings. So today is just piggybacking off of the broader market's optimism, and a lot of that optimism is coming from this right here. So a lot of the exclusions associated to smartphones, computers, and electronics from China. And even though Trump came out on Sunday morning saying that potentially there was no real exemptions, market still seems to be moving forward. So let me know your kind of general thoughts on that. But as far as price action or anything, Lucid's, like I said, nothing really crazy. You had shorts increase, so they really hit it. And prior to that, they weren't really doing anything. So right now they are increasing 1.14 million shares. So kind of breaking their trend over the last 3 trading days. They've returned between like 20 to 25 million shares. So today was rather odd, but I think that they are trying to bring it below the 50-day moving average. So today is essentially, if you want to call it, the battle of the 50-day moving average. And I've even seen a lot of accounts on social media, big accounts, all saying that Lucid is ready to break out because it will be getting above that 50-day moving average. So that's going to be a very big deal going forward into the next couple trading days. But 23.2% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 282.32 million shares overall are being shorted. Aside from just Lucid piggybacking off of that tariff news and optimism, there's just a lot of articles coming out as well about Nikola's facility. So clearly it's getting a lot of attention. So let me know your general thoughts on that. Possibly that could be one main reason why shorts did return the amount that they did over the last several trading days, because of maybe they knew in advance about that auction and Lucid's intent. Possibly. So we'll just have to kind of wait and see. But latest 13Fs, you are seeing some institutions increasing their position, making brand new positions, some returning. So kind of all over the place. But a lot of this is just small fish at the end of the day. Bigger players are at the end of April. So we'll just have to kind of sit tight and wait for that. But based on just the abnormal volume that did on average occur in Q1, it is fair to assume that big players did get into Lucid. So again, we'll just have to watch what BlackRock, Vanguard, and a lot of the other big names have been doing. But looking at the options, 349,000 in calls, 118,000 in puts. 49% of all the options being done are optimistic in nature. And of the bullish options, you are seeing a very good consensus for it to be roughly around that $3 range. And that is pretty much what the Elliott Wave technicals are projecting. So it has a pivot point of $2.10. For as long as it is above that, then it is anticipated in the short term to get between that 297 and 315 range. So pretty kick-ass if you ask me. Even if you get in right now, that's a good return on investment just in the short term. But that's what the bulls are feeling. Based on the bears, they are under the impression that it'll be sub 250. So still a lot more upside is anticipated if you ask me. But these are all the transactions occurring on the secondary market above $100,000. So if you factor this as well as dark pool transactions, that obviously leads you to believe that algorithmic trading is in full force today. And I've kind of mentioned in my video yesterday on why that is very important and why you really need to have it on your side. And because, yeah, if you have a lot of optimism, algorithmic trading is going to really push your stock higher. But these are all the transactions, like I said, on the dark pool above $100,000, with it at 256, slightly above this R1. So 255 is going to be a key pivot for Lucid today based on the fib levels. Next kind of target is going to be $2.69, followed by $2.91. And aside from that, though, no new analyst ratings, no analyst forecasts or anything. So last rating came out 7 days ago. Forecast, there hasn't been anything really. So you do see 23 cents or negative 23 cents for the earnings per share estimates. That's done by 10 analysts. And then revenue, you have roughly 250.48 million. This one did go down a little bit. So it went from 255.47 million to 250 based on the same 9 analysts. So most likely that most recent rating by Cantor Fitzgerald, they did lower their revenue estimates, which is kind of weird because the Q1 numbers were relatively good. But at the end of the day, if they're lowering their expectations and it lowers the average, even more reason that Lucid could easily beat. So again, something to kind of keep in mind. Aside from all that fun stuff though, on the actual chart itself, it's that 50-day moving average. That's where the battle is going to be. So $2.55, that is ultimately that 50-day moving average. You also have $2.59, that 100-day moving average, and that so far is the high for today. So you have kind of both spectrums. So just kind of watch out for both of those. And then right here, that $2.62, that is that algorithmic trading, that super trend indicator. So yeah, if it can get above that for today or possibly tomorrow, then you can easily see, I wouldn't say easily, but you could most likely see that 200-day moving average, and that's sitting at 289 being hit. So bigger and better things might be coming right around the corner. So let me know your general thoughts on Lucid. Like I said, even looking at the latest news, a lot of articles talking about the whole Nikola deal, and then just a lot of them talking about just technicals, nothing really crazy. So I think we just have to wait for their upcoming earnings just to find out what they have cooking behind the scenes. A lot of individuals are assuming like big acquisitions and partnerships are coming down the pipeline, which could be coming. We've seen a lot of recent IPOs just skyrocket, and usually that is a signal that we are in kind of a bottom type of scenario, and M&A usually does increase closer to the bottom as well. So let me know your thoughts on all of that in the comments below. Give yourself a shout out if you did buy, if you sold, or whatever else. So give yourself a shout out for that. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon. I give buy signals on stocks, options, crypto. Many of them have been absolutely on point and bangers. Definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. And so definitely worthwhile to check that out. And then depending on what happens today, if there's any big developments or any big action from shorts or whatever else, I'll do a PM video again just to give you guys quick updates on that. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.